Flash and the Fundamentals. Two complete opposites solve the world. If you're listening on iTunes, don't forget that you can watch these podcasts by subscribing on our Facebook or YouTube channels. God, dude, it's been such a bad couple fucking weeks. It was a bad couple weeks when we started this last time.
There's always bad couple weeks, but it always has good linings.
Okay, it seems like this one might be. This might be completely about me. Fuck Trump. All right, here we go.
Scallywag. Small batch release.
Trying to whip that helicopter.
Yeah.
Not like another one's not going to come 30 seconds later.
Doesn't matter, man. This is
LA. Welcome to Flash and the Fundamentals. I am your host, Adam Contrast, with
Don Full of Love.
And today we are joined by Mr. J. Aron.
I think I need a nickname.
What's your nickname?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it till now, but you're Flash. You're the Fundamental.
No way, Jay or Jason?
I never care. It doesn't bother me. It's like interchangeable.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah.
Most
well,
people give a shit.
It's interesting because I set up my Facebook as Jay because that's what most of my friends call me. But this goes back, I don't know, 10 years, whatever.
Right.
And then I had to make a professional decision at some point and went with Jason. So I don't know. I really just don't.
Well,
care.
it sounds a little more eloquent than
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah.
Do you ever go by Donald?
Never. Especially now.
What's your IMDb though?
Why now?
Why now?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Really?
Totally.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't occur to me.
Well, hold on. What's your IMDb name?
Don or Donald. Because some stuff was done in the early days under Don. Back to the Future was done in as Donald. Yeah, I heard that slip.
Back to the what?
Yeah.
So you have two names on IMDb.
Right. Yeah.
That's got to be annoying.
Not really. I don't even deal with IMDb.
Well,
I was going to say, you have to be on
better.
some stuff in IMDb for that to be annoying. God, sorry. It's been a while.
I don't use IMDb.
Right.
I don't. That's
not about you. It's about people looking for you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty findable. It's called Screen Actors Guild.
Oh, look at him go. Anyway, let's start off with our normal segments. I'll leave you for last.
Okay.
Because you were the
It'll give me the most time to think about it anyway.
Yeah. So Don, what's up with you?
What's up with me?
What's been going on?
Well, man, it's 2018 again still. And I'm still, doing the same thing I was doing on the last podcast.
So you're just gonna tell me you were golfing and?
Hey, it's a dull life, man. It's a real dull
What's your
life.
handicap? You've been golfing for a month straight.
Okay, you ready? Drum roll.
Yep.
The fact that I am handicapped at playing that game.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. So no, recently. Okay, so what's up? I just started taking golf lessons.
Right.
So that's a good thing. And I got this trainer who used to be like a Mr. California or something.
Right.
And he's going to make me Mr. Somebody.
Okay.
So
that's
the little
cool.
arms are going to get bigger.
So the first episode we had you cutting your hair. Now
Yeah.
you're getting in shape.
Yeah.
And so clearly you just broke up with somebody. Because there's no... That's
Where was that next?
That's the order of how things work.
I'm learning how to play golf. I'm getting in shape, cutting my hair.
This shit just doesn't happen. There's no way that you did.
That is a lot for 60 days.
Well, no, you know what? I'm going to be real honest with you. I was always thinking about cutting my hair. It had nothing to do with a relationship or not.
All right, what made you cut it then?
What made me cut it?
There had to be a moment.
When I got my passport, passport's for 10 years. I've had mine now for 4 years. When I took the passport picture, I pulled my hair all the way back and patted it down so it looks like it does now. Because I was seeing where?
The future.
You see what I did there?
Well played.
Yep.
So I mean, it was a process.
Yeah.
I've had that hair for 20 years, man. And then I just wanted to have a different look. So just be a different. So 2018 was it, man. It's the reinvention of Don Full of Love.
And about the same time, we were talking about Flash and the Fundamentals. We had this documentary coming out, a little more exposure. It's like, hey, let's a new you. I went the opposite direction with how I look.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Mine.
Yes.
But wait.
But what?
What's up with you?
There we go. I saw. There you go. I don't know where to start. Nothing. Just nothing. It's normal. Everything's good.
Regular January.
Just been. I had a couple car problems last time. We spoke, and it was getting pretty stressful, and I having a hard time. I kind of decided I would just grow this beard out because that's how I feel. When I look in the mirror, that's exactly how I feel. And then,
Do you have a stylist for that beard?
no,
Oh.
no,
Use oil?
no.
Do you use a comb?
I have used a comb. I can do some crazy shit with it. It's starting to get to the fun phase where you can do some shit. But
you need some wax to do that. But
a few days after our podcast, the car exploded and went on fire and looked like a complete total loss. And Here's the good news. I now have a really good ending to the documentary.
Yeah.
Which you saw.
Yeah.
It's
in its entirety.
It's a nice emotional
Roller coaster ride.
What the fuck is this? Oh, by the way, did you like that I added that the fire was out? I felt like I had to do something. I couldn't explain everything, but I couldn't leave you with actual flames. That seemed too...
I mean, it comes during the credits, so
Right.
it's not, it's not part of the story per se. I didn't feel like you were ramming down my face that the car didn't burn down, so that
Right.
was okay.
when I had it before where you didn't see that, it was kind of like, okay, that's bullshit, dude. You have to, you might not be able to have time to explain everything.
Okay,
But,
me
yeah.
as a non-filmmaker,
Right.
just as a viewer of things, I love Game of Thrones.
Right.
And every time Game of Thrones ends the season,
Right.
they end you with a fucked up cliffhanger where you don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's every show, because
Yeah.
Exactly.
they want you to watch it again.
Exactly.
They also don't know where it's going to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and it's...
Well, without show, yeah.
At this point, I have to end the film at some point, right? You can't just keep adding. I hate documentaries that just keep going and they just keep adding. You're like, dude, there was a point at some point. Stick with it. And if this was a TV show, oh hell yeah, I'd leave it at the big cliffhanger. Fuck yeah. But listen, there might not be another show. There might not be another movie. This might be it. I'm sure as fuck not funding another documentary unless somebody's on board. Oh, are you kidding me?
Well, you learned
This doesn't really feel like a documentary, though, to me.
What is it? What's fiction?
No, it just feels like a true story told by Adam.
It's a reality show, I guess.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
does feel like it has more of a narrative weave to it,
Yeah.
because also it doesn't take place in real time, obviously, but
Right.
it doesn't take place over a very long period of time either.
Right.
It's quick. There's a beginning and there's an end. There's drama. There's hills, peaks,
you
and
liked
valleys.
it.
Yeah,
Oh, I did
to me,
like it.
documentaries
Yeah.
are you sitting up here, you're learning something about something. This kind of seems like a journey, man.
Yeah, no. I mean, leave it to me. What did you like? I mean, I haven't even asked you. He watched it on the plane.
I
by
did
the
watch
way.
it. Yeah, I mean, I'm fresh. I've seen it
you literally
3 hours ago.
Yes. What was your first takeaway? What didn't you know was going to happen? Because you didn't know a lot of it.
I knew a lot of it.
You knew the Kenny shit, but you didn't know.
I mean, I knew you broke the record.
Right.
But I didn't see it.
Right.
So first of all, I've been thinking a lot for myself, next doc, something having to do with like the joy of life, because the world is so fucked up and there's no more joy anywhere.
Right.
Man.
And I've been thinking about sports and whatever, so not related to this at all. But the scene where you break the record,
Yeah.
that struck me because there was like genuine, actual, human, raw joy, emotion there
Yeah.
that just doesn't exist.
It
Right.
was,
Anywhere.
It was an interesting.
And it was real.
What I loved, my favorite part of that whole thing is Don not knowing.
Not knowing.
I couldn't freaking see the thing if something was in the way, man.
And you were truly happy. Like you could. The truth is, he was happy because he got to go home. Just so you know.
Yeah,
like,
story didn't end there.
Yeah, part of it was like, how fucking long do I have to be to this goddamn Fontana again? It's
Well, you
fucking-
didn't have to run the thing 4 times.
Yeah, right.
And when
right.
you found out too, because you didn't find out from the paper, you found out.
that bullshit. When my cousin came up
Yeah.
and told me, yeah, that was so nerve wracking for it to end like that. The big thing now is getting distribution. Will they give a fuck? Do you think the people that you knew at Gravitas, the people that you talked to, or any distributors that you talked to, is that something that they would be interested
I
in?
mean, there's a story there. There's definitely a story there, and content is king. Like,
Yeah.
you have a story with content. It has a Back to the Future car in it,
Right. No, the Ready
and
Player
Don
One.
Full Love. I mean,
Well,
that's-
now it's a shoe-in. It's going to
Yeah,
be like
that's what I'm
a
saying.
plethora of
No,
them.
the-
A series.
open up the Oscar noms for next year.
The tie-in with the DeLorean and the Ready Player One, that's just...
I just recently I figured out what
Insane.
you were talking about, this Ready Player One. I just saw a trailer on it. That's insane.
It's a kid from Columbus, Ohio.
It's insane. And seeing the beat-up DeLorean, oh my goodness.
My car just caught fire, and everything's burnt.
You are the most lucky
Lucky
dude I
motherfucker.
ever
Right.
saw.
Yes. So, yes, my car caught fire. It was awful. But at the end of the day, I should get the wiring harness tomorrow or the next day. I might have to tow it to one gig on Saturday. But it looks like I've cleaned it all up, replaced everything I could. I think I just plug in the wires, turn the key, and we're good to go. I do know what caused the fire. I am not at liberty to mention it right now because it's rather inflammatory.
So I'm
But,
just going to say nothing.
Yeah. No, I think everybody knows there were some issues with the build and that Eventually, when issues are bad enough, you can cause
That
fires.
was a bad issue. Let's not talk about it anymore.
It's a pretty bad fucking
Let's
issue.
not
Well,
talk about
I
it
walked
anymore.
away from that documentary going like, this car is not safe.
Yeah,
Like at all. Like
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Safe's not even the word. Stable.
right.
There's no stability in this. This thing like just doesn't. Like this car sucks.
If I told you that what caused the fire is actually what caused every single issue, and I fixed it.
Every single.
That's the
issue.
crazy part. I mean, I guess we can get into it. It doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm giving anything away. But there was a grounding issue where the starter cable, the positive to the starter cable, the hook on the positive,
The red line.
the red line, it was a little too big and they didn't wrap it correctly. So it was resting on the metal of the starter. The metal of the starter is where you ground a starter. That's just how that works. So
Right.
basically, you were creating a short. It was arcing. And it was sending, not only when you held the starter was it sending power back to the battery, which eventually melted my battery. It was also sending that negative interference basically throughout the whole motor, through all the wires, all the time.
So you think that you're gonna plug in this wiring harness and that thing's gonna run
But
normally?
wait.
What?
There's more.
What? Oh, yeah, well, I mean, let me find out all the information before I add that.
Okay.
That alone was enough to cause the fire.
All right.
Okay. That alone. What ends up happening when you have an arc through an entire system is that arc finds the weakest point and fucks with it. So I had a little fuel line.
It's a basic
yeah,
electrical
basic
principle.
electric. It gets gonna
The
eat
least
at it.
resistance to ground.
Right. So
So you think you're gonna start that car and it's not gonna stall every 5
no
seconds?
stalls.
I mean, you have a brand new engine in
yeah.
there.
No power dips. No starter issue.
Because if you told me that you were gonna put a brand new Corvette engine in my whatever, I don't care that it's a 35-year-old piece
Yeah.
of shit.
Yeah.
And the amount of stuff that you had to replace.
Yes, everything.
That thing should run like it's brand
Perfectly
new,
for 20
and it
years.
runs like it's 70 years old.
Yes. It runs worse.
I'm gonna reserve opinion. I've just ridden in it.
Well, you've ridden in it. You're in
Yeah.
it. Yeah. It's fast.
Oh, it's fast as hell.
Well, that's the other issue is that
When you caught that wheelie though, dude.
right when
That was dope.
when I get the when I get this all put back together and running, there's a good chance I dyno it and it's suddenly like 100 horsepower higher. How do I not take that back to the track to see what I should have got? Like, there's a
Why
part of me
not?
that's like, oh,
But
Jesus.
won't you have to weight down with that much more power? Wouldn't you have to weight down the front?
No, you want a wheelie.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll get it in there.
Rear-wheel
You'll
drive,
get some,
yeah.
get
It'll
some
go
bars
even
right there.
further.
You could ride that thing on 2
Yeah.
wheels down the whole track.
Well, I mean, it's never going to be enough to flip the whole car over. I mean, fuck.
I wish I could have seen your eyes when it went up those little 6 inches, though.
There's a documentary actually where it shows that.
Imagine
you
that.
fucking-
Yeah, that thing is way too low to flip backwards.
It would be really hard.
It's
Yeah,
so
it
low.
would need to be like 5,000 horsepower. It's not like a jet car.
Right.
We're talking about maybe adding 100 horsepower. That's not it. Anyway, that's for the sequel. The only thing I wanted to hear from you was, yeah, here's the guy to talk to at Gravitas. I think they're gonna like this. I think with Ready Player One coming out, I think it's an easy sell to Netflix.
Even if it's not there, it's got to go somewhere. Yeah, it's got to
Yeah,
go somewhere.
but I mean-
Amazon's buying up shit left and right.
I mean, it should. Yeah. I mean, the only problem is it's basically shot on iPhones,
You know what? I watched it on my MacBook Pro,
right?
which is the resolution's almost. It is 4K.
Oh, I have it was a 4K file.
Yeah, so like it didn't bother me to shot an iPhone.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing about it, so much of it is picture-in-picture, that 2K thing is at full resolution.
Listen, I know plenty of guys. They're gonna tell you that the bit rate and the codec and
Right.
shut the. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks fine. That's why, you know what I don't get when you watch the news at night, and they have people's cell phone footage. It's like a very common thing now,
It looks
like shit. It's like what phone
Garbage,
are you using?
exactly.
Yeah.
What happened? All you have to do is just hit the camera button, hit record.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't turn it sideways, like why?
I hate when they don't
Oh,
do
it
that.
makes me crazy.
Oh, I hate when they do the
what are
straight
they-
up and down.
What are they shooting on a StarTAC? Like
Yeah.
what are they?
A flip phone.
Like what I don't get it. It's 2018.
Yeah.
How do people's cell phone
We are a
cameras-
bit more techno geek than most people. Clear. Look at
Like
look
he
at
said-
behind you.
like-
Have you seen this
I
yet?
just go, oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is crazy. I have the same
Pretty good.
TV, by the way.
Oh, do you?
This is a 49.
Yeah, it's a 49.
I think I have the exact same one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
Got it Thanksgiving.
ridiculous. 359. Like what?
What happens when it rains? You have that protected?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Thought of that.
I'm glad.
Jesus Christ. Of all the things that I can control.
What'd you build that in? What program?
That's just Premiere. I just made a file.
Crazy.
There's nothing to build it in, really. That's just a video file. That's just a video file that's running on a 10-second loop. That's it. Now I made it. I rendered out like a 3-hour version just so I could have that scroll at the bottom. But no, all you really do is that you make a 3840 by 2160 settings on your.
You guys are really geeky. I'd like to put an idea to you guys.
Right, so what?
You just freaked me out with a 3-hour render.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that has something that can render like quickly?
Yeah, there's a thing called render farms.
Okay, yeah, but dude, no,
But it's a highly expensive deal.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, you're talking price for bang for your buck. Just render it overnight, dude. Like it's
well, it also depends what software you use. People also, they don't know what codecs they're using, so they end up setting up their project in a different format than what they shot it on, and then you're working against yourself.
Yeah,
I see that
like
all the time.
The frames per second thing I tried to help you with.
See that all the time, but like I use Final Cut X, and I could render like a 10-minute thing in under a minute because it caches the whole time.
Right.
But it pre-renders the files and then just pop it out.
Yeah, while that's true, now add hope like my unfortunately my doc was shot almost entirely in 2K, so everything's kind of blown up. That's a little hit. There's effects everywhere. There's fucking things flying all over. That's a little hit. Any animation's going to be a hit. So for me to render 90 minutes, it takes about 7 hours. Like it's ugly. So you just do it overnight.
Yeah, sure.
And I got I got like 32 megabytes of RAM. I got a whole lot of processor speed. But that's just the way it is, man.
No, it was just a question. Yeah. I mean, in our hurry up society, I was just wondering if somebody had ever invented something.
Oh, listen, if you have the money, you could fucking do it in no time at all.
It's also pretty quick. It's pretty quick nowadays if you set everything up right.
Yeah,
it's pretty quick.
Yeah, considering what I used to do for standard definition, holy shit, it was the same. It's funny, we keep jumping in. I'm like, wow, it's not taking much longer. Everything's getting a little better. File size is a little better. I'm amazed my doc is 1920 gigs. It's like that's crazy. It's 4K. Yeah. That's incredible.
You know what the most incredible thing is? Netflix now you can download offline shows on your phone and iPad for Netflix. Like if you're flying, you could download Netflix stuff.
I actually got that.
It's one of the first good uses of H.265 that I've seen.
Oh, right.
So these file sizes are nothing. They're non-existent. If you download a movie from iTunes on your iPad, it's like 4 gig for one movie.
Right.
I downloaded like 3 seasons worth of shit, and it didn't even. And I had like 6 gig available on my whole iPad. Like H.265, man, the files are tiny, and they look great.
They are squeezed down.
They're getting it.
That's what it comes down to.
All right, that's a good segue into what's up with you.
Well, first of all, I'm in LA.
Yes, you are.
Bam.
Yeah. Thank God, because I couldn't stand another snowstorm.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's these like white, wet.
We ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, he already did this joke. He's trying to do it again. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, no, man. This is the longest. First of all, I never came to. First time I was ever in LA. I know you know this. First time I was ever in LA, I was 30. I didn't come to LA until I was 30.
Right.
Which is nuts.
I don't know how old you are now.
35.
Okay, because to him that's like, wow, that's a long time ago. Really, in the 80s? You have been here since the 80s?
It was booming then.
Wow.
Yeah, no, 5 years ago was like the first. It was for back in time. My first trip ever to LA, and of course you want to talk about charmed life. I got off the plane, went right to Sony Studios, had a meeting with Adam Goldberg in the office right outside the stage where the Goldbergs was shooting, got in a car and drove to Vegas. That was my first trip to LA.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like,
this LA place is awesome.
It's great. It's everything they show in the movies.
Yeah.
There's a lot here and there's a lot
That's
everywhere.
what we talked about on the podcast that you took down because I apparently made you look bad. But the podcast where you said,
made me look bad.
Yeah. Where we had said the idea of what LA is, people that don't live in LA, is so fucking skewed. It just depends on how you got
First
off
time
the
I
plane.
went to New York, it was everything I expected it to be.
Yeah.
New York's so small though. Manhattan.
Well, but it isn't. It's the living quarters are, but I mean,
geographically Manhattan.
Yeah, was it 24 miles?
Sure.
No. Way less.
13 by 10.
Oh,
right?
that's right. The whole thing's from Manhattan's all the way up to Yonkers and all that.
I'm talking Manhattan proper. So like
not
from
the island,
the tip of Harlem to Battery Park. Manhattan proper.
Gotcha.
Even the 5 boroughs. I mean, you discount Staten Island.
Say that word again.
Boroughs.
I'm
from New York, man. Whatever I say counts.
Boroughs.
I'm from there, goddamn.
Got your fucking boroughs right here.
Yeah. So Staten Island doesn't count. And then
Staten.
Brooklyn. I still don't know my way around Brooklyn. I've lived there I've lived there 35 years. I can't figure it out.
It
for
keeps
the life
changing
of me.
though. It's so different every time I've been back there.
I know there's 2 highways. You got the BQE and the belt. One's on one side, one's on the other side, but everything in the middle just fucks me up.
You just don't spend time there.
No, exactly.
I've only been through Brooklyn. I've never been to Brooklyn. Done Queens, obviously Manhattan. I've even done Yonkers.
Right.
Yonkers outside of that's Westchester already.
So. When I say what's up with you, like, this is your time to plug whatever the fuck you're doing.
That's right.
So that's the important part.
So I'm working on a documentary right now. It's called On Board.
Right.
It's a travel documentary. I just finished a trailer for it, which you saw.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you later. So we're in an interesting spot because we've been shooting for a year. And it is the exact opposite of how I did my last documentary, where I had money thrown at me left and right, and things were easy.
Yeah.
Now I'm funding it for myself.
You're slumming it like I slummed the fastest
exactly.
DeLorean. It's kind of scary.
I'm begging, borrowing, and stealing, and still trying to make it look like it's being done on a $250,000 budget.
The lenses, Jesus, I always forget. That's the difference. We're talking about cameras.
Yeah.
Lenses make all the difference in the world. Holy shit.
For sure. And I'm shooting on high quality, basically still photo lenses.
Yeah.
So it's not. My first shoot actually I did on Cinema Primes, but I was in somebody's basement. It's not like,
Right.
It's only going to look like it was going to look.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the cameras have gotten so good.
I mean, it's crazy when I look at just the shit you shot of me at GolfCon and for Back in Time. The lens, dude.
That we shot on Cinema Primes.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
those
just
are $5,000 lenses.
I know. That's what people don't get, man. It's not the sensor.
But you know what's
anymore.
nuts? Like, I work on feature films for drone stuff, so for that stuff we're shooting on Alexa Minis. Fine, all right.
Right.
I get it. It's a $30,000 camera.
Yeah.
But then we're using like ultra primes, so lenses that cost $30,000.
You obviously rent these lenses.
Production, so either production provides them or nobody owns this stuff.
There's a sponsorship.
Nobody owns this stuff.
Yeah.
Even the big productions, like they just pull these huge rentals for long periods of time. That's what costs so much money.
Yeah.
We had a rental house in New York that told us that they ran out of Alexas because they rented 10 of them to a production.
Right.
So but yeah, you're talking about when you start shooting on $30,000 lenses, or we'll be on set and we'll see the $50,000, $100,000 lenses, and it's just like, wow, that's what makes it look good.
It's amazing glass.
They barely light these things in a scene of 300 people. It's because the glass looks so good.
You never want to admit that your gear can change your ability to be a good photographer, but your gear can change your ability to be a good photographer. I mean, the amount of knowledge you don't need to know about framing and lighting and so forth it's actually sickening, especially for people who've spent their whole lives worrying about lighting and understanding fuck it, you get the right lenses, you can fix it all in post even if you fuck it up.
I'm the biggest gearhead there is, and what I've done on this documentary is figured out how to cheat what I don't have.
Right.
Because once you're like, all right, well, I mean, I haven't shot. I'm Back in Time when we shot like the big guys like Don Full and Michael J. Fox.
Wow, put me in that same sentence. I kind of like this guy.
Yeah.
Actually, it is funny because the day that we shot you, we also shot Bob Gale. So at the time for us,
that was the get.
In all seriousness, at the time for us, that was it. I mean, that was as big as it was going to get. We had the writer, we had an actor, and that was it. It was done.
Oh my God,
made it.
Yeah, and we shot like 7 interviews that day because we brought in all of Joe Walser's team, all those guys.
Right.
And by the way, you want to talk about filmmaking on a budget? You remember this? We got an Airbnb in Santa Monica.
Oh, he doesn't remember this, actually.
I was trying to remember where we did that.
Oh, yeah. It was an Airbnb in Santa Monica. So it was just like a lofty kind of, it was weird. It was like a 3-story space, but no floor was big.
Yeah,
so
big. Yes.
So the floors were tiny. I mean, like the entire floor didn't even go to the basketball court, but then you went up and there was another floor, and you went up and there was another floor.
Yeah.
So we stayed there and then shot in the living room. So how did I scout that location? On Airbnb. I went through, I was like, oh, that living room looks like I could shoot that. They had a fake fireplace in the back, I was like, I can make that work.
Yeah, and it cost you $400 or something.
Yeah, and I found out, the other thing I found out is how cheap grip trucks are in LA.
Oh, are they?
Oh,
in comparison?
You can get a 1-ton truck out here. First of all, people don't do it in New York because it's out here. You could have the truck, you keep it loaded. You have a driveway, a house, whatever in the
New
city.
York,
it's just,
where are you going to park?
Yeah, it's different. So they have trucks out there, but the whole rental thing is just different out there. Here, I was paying like $300 for a 1-ton grip truck with a guy. You know,
and the guy works for you?
Yeah, because I was begging for it, but even $600 with the guy and the truck, and he's working.
That's pretty damn
It's
good.
cheap.
Wow.
So we were set up.
Right.
Like on that day, and so we were bringing in guys, and we had, we were lighting perfectly. This documentary, I'm traveling with 2 LEDs, a crew of,
Yeah.
and I have Andrea with me who's producing, but like she doesn't come from a technical background, so she could help me if I could say, hey, go do this, or make sure that shot's good, or listen to the audio, but she can't. She's not like running lights and whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just setting it all up, 2 lights. I've shot so much in hotels, and literally scoured the hotel lobbies. Like, well, that plant looks good. I'll take that. Give me that table.
And you just do it till they tell you to get the fuck out.
They never do.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Airport hotels, like they can give a shit. You just act like you own the place. They don't care.
Yeah.
So I'm decorating.
That's really guerrilla filmmaking.
Oh yeah. So I'm grabbing stuff, but you saw the trailer. It looks fucking great.
Yeah, the trailer looks
the
great.
footage. I mean, the footage is solid.
It looks good. Yeah.
So shooting on Sony, huge free plug to Sony.
Right.
But once I started coloring, because I've been shooting flat, like I've been shooting log.
Yeah.
And
Explain to Don what that means. That's
Yeah,
hard to explain.
so you can, when you shoot on the expensive cameras, you can shoot raw, which means that none of the data, like the color data, is really recorded. You can kind of adjust a lot of it later.
You can fix it all in post.
Exactly.
Right.
So log is the closest thing to that with having some of the data burnt in. Like the white balance is still burnt in, but you're shooting so flat. When you look at the image, it almost looks gray. It almost looks like you're shooting black and white.
And then
in post you go in, you start messing with the with the highlights and the shadows and the color and the saturation, and then kind of build the shot in post. And I've been looking at this footage for a year.
Damn, man. You mean you can't just shoot it and edit it?
Do you know how long it takes me to make these 3 fucking cameras look similar? Jesus Christ.
That's your fault. I mean,
I know, dude. I don't have any money. I spent it on a fucking car.
These
that blew up.
These cameras came from Costco. They're pretty good.
Not all of them, but some of them do.
Listen.
He has one. He made me go buy from Costco because I was an aspiring filmmaker, and I went out and bought a drone and everything. That poor drone has been in the box since the week it got there.
Well, it's better than what most people do with their drones.
What?
They put them in a tree.
Oh, he did that too.
Oh, I did that at the golf course.
Yeah. This is after he fixed it, after he was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. But no, the nice thing about these cameras is the 24p looks good. They have a really good fake 24p that just works, It's a nice way to trick.
You know what the best camera here probably is? It's the one sitting right in front of you on that table.
Oh, I fucking know. It's
the
crazy.
iPhone?
Oh, my God, yes.
Well, I've seen some pretty freaky lenses for that thing, man.
we have, not even that, 4K, and the Steadicam. Dude, I can hand this to anybody, and even if they're fucking like this, it comes out.
Which model is that? Which version is that?
7 Plus. Yeah. I have an app called Filmic Pro. Mm-hmm. So it allows you to control the white balance, allows you to lock exposure, lock focus, stuff like that. You can take it, mount it right there, and it's going to look great. I have an iPhone 10. Like, it looks really, especially during the day.
Now, 24. You're not going to get 24 frames a second.
Yes, you absolutely are.
Okay, at 4K
with this app. Yeah. The app allows you to control the camera settings.
Fucking guy right here. This fucking
it's
guy.
It's a $10 app. Hook yourself up.
That's awesome.
You guys are pretty genius. Can we bring it down a little bit?
This was gonna get pretty
Don's
geeky.
like, we were talking about golf. Remember, we were talking about golf.
This was getting pretty geeky. Okay, so
so I'm doing that.
Yeah, where are you in it? Like, are you?
So that's I need money right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So Don and I are going to talk after the podcast, and
I got 5 on it.
Take this 10, baby. Get whatever you can, man. Get whatever you want.
Yeah, and that's we're at a really. I mean, you could tell from the trailer we were at a really good point to stop and say, like, this is what we have. Yeah. The story's in there. There's more I want to do, and then post, because my philosophy with post is I could spend the next year doing it all myself, but I have to pay rent, and that would be a problem.
And also good editors are worth their weight in gold.
I know that I could edit.
Right.
As far as editing it, I could edit it as well as anybody else is going to, especially because I'm married to it.
Right.
I need to pay for a colorist because looking back in time.
I don't want to harsh on back in time. I love back in time. There are some issues we know of.
Color. I'm talking just color. I'm talking
beautiful, yeah.
Here they
That's
go.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Everybody likes the damn thing. Everybody loves the damn thing. And here you guys go, well, that balance was off because this 2K was with 4K with an H.265 underneath
right.
it.
But here's the thing. The way you keep making movies is impress the people that know that shit. That's the truth.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you might have one good hit, but if you want to keep going and keep getting picked up on different things and have a career, you better fix all that.
No, it's true. It's true. It's why the follow-up to the Blair Witch Project kind of sucked.
Yeah. That's how that shit works, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Because the novelty was how bad it was, but that only works
right.
Oh wow! Look,
You get one time to do that.
Yeah. We all threw up on the way out the first time.
Yeah.
Now fix that.
Yeah. Well, and for them, I mean, I had so many people that believed it was real. Like, there's the half of the fucking idiots that thought it was real, and that got ruined after the first one.
I mean, there's probably a lot of people that think the Kardashians are real,
There's a lot of people that think Trump's a good president. Speaking of that.
Yeah.
That's probably the only political thing I'll talk about.
No,
we had State of the Union 2 days ago.
Well, it's not. Okay, cool. We're early.
It was last night, right? It was last night.
So well, this is for February, so shut up. But yes.
That'll be edited.
Yeah. Well, no, listen, there's clearly you have a topical podcast. You better do it weekly. But.
Right.
Hey, don't look at your eyes and roll your eyes at me. You're always working on DeLoreans and rendering shit.
I always make time for this shit. You ain't gonna come here.
Wow, I live around the corner.
Yeah, wouldn't you think you'd fucking answer the phone? I'm sorry, it's okay.
I show up here once a month.
Yeah, shit. So, there are 3 people sitting at the bar right now who all voted for different people in 2016.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And I think that
I'm
there's
wondering,
no way...
Wait.
Who did the third person vote for?
I know who he voted for. I know who I voted for.
Well, I want to know who you voted for because I know who I voted for and who he voted for.
All you gotta do is go online to my Facebook page and it says Goldie Wilson for president.
That's great.
I wrote in for myself.
I should have done that.
Yeah.
But did you write in for yourself or for Goldie Wilson?
Mayor Goldie Wilson.
Right.
Let me see. I'm gonna look. You guys talk.
Yeah, we'll insert it.
You took a picture in the booth?
Oh yeah.
I think that's a crime. I don't know if we're allowed to post that.
It is actually a crime, but who cares?
I didn't post it.
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
No, I mean,
I've Facebook.
Listen, I've always posted that shit.
I took a picture too.
But
And posted it.
did you really?
Yeah. Very close up, just the ballot itself.
Oh, you didn't post who you voted for.
Correct, before I voted.
Right.
But I think the crime is to take the picture in the booth.
This is starting to get weird.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to listen.
Now I'm talking about statute of limitations.
I
saw a crazy documentary today. We got to get into that.
what's the name?
The voyeur documentary. I don't know what they called it.
The hotel.
Yes, I think it's called voyeurism.
Fuck that reporter and
Oh,
being
wow.
totally cool with that shit. Okay, we can't do it. This will take 20 minutes. That documentary blew my mind.
He went to a sex cult.
Yeah,
It's the same guy.
Right. It's really.
And had sex with everybody.
Yeah.
Justified it.
Yeah.
To his wife
Yeah.
and 2 daughters.
And the
I
guy
have
was
no
lying.
idea.
You're upset that he went to a hotel for a night?
No. What I'm saying is that he didn't eventually turn the guy in for doing something illegal. It's not illegal to go to a sex cult. It's illegal to fucking
Watch somebody die.
Well, I mean, all of that. All that. He was full of shit. The guy was probably lying about all that shit. But my point
Weird
is.
story.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to get off that. I bring this up for one reason. I don't. If there's anything that we say that you don't want out, please let me know. Because I felt really bad because I did your podcast.
Oh.
I posted it, and then you were like, "Yeah, I don't want that out because I look like a moron."
I don't mind that it's out. I did. See, the interesting thing is I didn't look like a moron. I thought all the people commenting looked like morons. But of course, I'm going to defend myself. Anybody in the world who can comment on something
This is starting to sound a lot like you voted for Donald Trump.
I did vote for Donald Trump. I voted for Hillary. He voted for Goldie. He voted for Donald Trump. And there we go.
Anybody in the world who could comment on anything and comment on specifically on the person's, basically the person called me a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So I don't need to describe it. Let's just put it out there. I was called a fucking asshole by somebody who did not listen to what I said.
Right.
Did not make any attempt to understand anything about me. But because of who I voted for in a presidential race. By the way, I mean, that means there's a lot of fucking assholes in the United States.
That is very true, no matter what. But
so I think anyone who could do that is part of the problem. What I didn't realize is just how toxic things get and fast.
Well, always.
Yeah.
Listen, politics always has some toxicity to it. And that's understandable.
Right.
True.
The issue with Trump, however, is if you're a student of politics, the idea of Trump was so not realistic and so ridiculous that he shouldn't have even been able to get the nomination, let alone anybody think that that was a reasonable choice. So right off the bat,
a reasonable choice.
Right. So right off the bat, the fact that anybody would somehow have their news sources so wabberjockeyed that they were like, "Oh, fucking Donald Trump is holy Christ." Right? That's the concern. Now, I also know that what you believe about Hillary Clinton made it a far more gray situation.
Yes.
And I could sit here and argue with you point after point after point about that maybe what you think about Hillary was skewed and what you thought about Trump was skewed. But I'll let you answer what you thought.
So I thought that Donald Trump wasn't going to be a good president, but wouldn't get us blown up. That remains to be seen. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Talk about a roll of the dice, dog. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that was my bar.
Right,
that was literally my bar.
Right.
That he won't be bad enough for North Korea to blow the place up.
Right.
I was just hoping that wouldn't happen, because that would be bad. I mean, I wouldn't have voted for him if I thought that.
Right.
And then maybe he'd do one or two of the things that he promised.
Right. Business-wise.
Correct.
Right.
And get the country into a more stable place. Economically.
Okay.
And things like healthcare and stuff like that.
You had a big issue with healthcare.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of Obamacare.
Right, you can give me 1 second on this guy. 1 second. Just let me throw it at you, and then I'm gonna throw it to Flash.
So that was my bar.
And I'm fairly certain you couldn't be any more LA right now, Don, than if you sat there and scrolled through your fucking Facebook feed during the video. Are you
that's what he's doing.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm looking for my ballot.
Dude, I can put that up later. That's what post means. Do you just want to see it to
No,
feel
you want
good
me to
about
post
yourself?
it? That what you said?
No, I'm saying I'll see it later. It's okay. You can participate.
He'll put the graphic in, the whole thing.
Use those fucking tones with me.
Right? All right. So my thing is that what on earth made you think that Hillary was so awful that, I mean, what was bad about it? What was your point about Hillary that you thought wasn't going to be good?
Twisted politician. All the stuff with the Clinton Foundation didn't look good.
Could there be anything more dirty than the Trump school? Like, are you shitting me?
You're from New York. You think that dude?
The false equivalency here is so insane.
I'll tell you what I said about Trump. I said this to you at the time. Trump, you know what you're getting. Everything's on the table. You don't think everything's on? It's all on the table.
You're right. You're 100%.
It's all on the table. It's not good. I'm not defending it. Right. I'm just saying I know what he is. Grab her by the pussy. That surprised anybody?
Right.
Did that surprise you?
Well, no. I have no issue with Trump. I have an issue with the electorate that thought that was a good idea. I mean, Trump's always been Trump.
I was like, mm-hmm. I mean, I know people personally that work for him, that work for his high level people. You know what he is. So I knew exactly what I was voting for. Hillary, I didn't quite know. I thought she was kind of wrapped up in it. Been in the political circle for way too long because of, her husband.
Right.
And it was just, man, this is dirty. I feel like this is going to be dirty. I just felt like she was lying to you every time she talked.
The irony that you thought that would be dirty. Like, listen, I get it. As a candidate, I can't stand her. Like, she would come on the TV and I'd be like, oh, God. Because I didn't feel anything was genuine ever.
And also her own words, her political stance has changed a lot over the years.
That doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, I care about things that are beyond, my white maleness, right? I really do. Like, I have a wife and a daughter and all that.
Yeah,
kind of
I do
too.
Right, so it's... So, yeah, anyway... Mr. Goldie, I'm sorry, we're stepping on you. You are
you weren't stepping on me at all.
Yeah.
Man, it's like this, dude. Like you said, you knew what you're getting.
Yeah.
I was amazed that he won. As a New Yorker, you had a different perspective of him. And I know who he was, and it just blows me away that it's still the office of the presidency. Do what the hell you're going to do, but man, it's got no decorum. There's no gravitas. It's like the Kardashian reality show.
Totally agreed. But that's the world we live in.
It makes us live like crazy. And speaking on healthcare, we talk about all these shithole countries and all these other nations that we love, that we want their people to come to. Those countries have socialized medicine. Everyone is healthy. In our country, you cannot monetize or capitalize health.
Yeah, it doesn't
You can't do it.
Yeah.
So I'm done.
No, and the issues you had with Obamacare was the compromise Obamacare became because the Republicans don't want socialized healthcare. So your idea that you're just going to get rid of it, which was what Trump wants to do, is not good. It's easy to fix it. It's impossible to get rid of it and start over. It took 60 years to even get to that. So now he takes out the individual mandate. It's like, okay, well, we're done. It's over. It doesn't matter. We're starting all over again. We're never going to have a healthcare system that works.
You saw today's announcement.
But I won't say that I hate
Amazon
you.
now.
Yeah, dude. 300 billion, was it?
I mean, great.
But that's what I said to you last time we talked about it. That maybe we'll get to a place where, if it's not going to be socialized, which who would disagree? Anyone who just doesn't know better. If you disagree that socialize is the best way, but if it's not going to be, at least make it competitive. The situation that we used to have where it was locked into the states, so you had a tiny number of companies competing with each other.
That's kind of stupid.
That was horrible.
You should go through cross state lines.
If it's going to be, let it be like any.
Listen,
capitalism does work.
Right,
okay?
Insurance companies in general, it's bullshit. They need to be removed. There's such a huge lobby. There's no way around it.
So let's make it as close to truly capitalistic as we can. So at least you feel like you're getting what you're paying for, and it becomes competitively priced.
But then,
in some way, shape, or form.
But then, as a business model, now you've got this person here who has stage 1 cancer, and you got this person here who has the flu. You're going to invest the money on the flu person, and this guy you're going to kick to.
Well, that's where I feel like the government. That's why I like things like not being able to be denied because of pre-existing conditions and stuff. I agree it should be socialized. I agree, but if it's not going to be, what's the next best thing? And we haven't had that for a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Well, ever. I mean, really. I mean, that's not even.
It just used to be cheaper.
Yeah, it was just cheaper. You had like your doctor would come to your house and charge you $5
you know what else
to give you an
changed?
ice cream cone.
You know what else changed hugely? And I don't follow the conversation that closely, but I feel like I never hear this talked about. People's jobs changed. So many more people work for themselves nowadays, or they work in small startups. Back in the day.
Yeah, manufacturing, dude.
Back when Don thought I was here in the 80s.
Right, yeah.
Everybody, you could leave high school and get a great job.
Right. And that's the thing, your job was paying for it, so who cares what it costs? Because you're getting it through your work, and everybody had a job. Everybody worked somewhere.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't an issue.
Well,
that crossover from like the 90s to the 2000s.
Well, and the shift that's going to have to happen, I'm glad some countries are starting it. There is no way with technology and robots and so forth, universal basic income, there's no way around it. You are going to have to provide a basic income for the people that lost all their jobs. Listen, the whole idea of the future was going to be, robots are going to help us out. They're going to do everything for us. So guess what? Have the corporations pay a little bit of a tax to have the better efficient robots and have that go to universal basic income so people can at least have a fucking roof over their head
we have
if
welfare.
They can't work. Right, but I mean, you're going to have to make a welfare No, but I mean, it's got to be. Listen, the way welfare works now, it's only for 5 fucking years, and you have to be looking for a job. You know what I mean? There's all these limitations, but at the end of the day...
I mean, it's not a bad idea to tell people to get a job.
No, but what I'm saying is in 50 years, people aren't going to... undereducated people that literally can't... Listen, some people can never be more than a janitor, and they are not going to be able to exist in 2050. They won't be able to exist.
We're in a crossover period, too. Because
we're bringing back beautiful, clean coal.
No, but when the boomers die out, right? When the boomers die out, you could live, you could stay.
You're allowed. No.
But what's going to happen is everybody's going to have grown up. My 5-year-old knows how to use a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? So the workforce is going to have grown up in the technology age. When you say people are only going to be able to be janitors, I don't really believe that.
No, what I'm saying is that the people that there were so many people that could sit at a factory line and make
those jobs will just be different.
But I think those jobs, no matter what, are going to go to like trucking. There will be no trucking industry in 2050.
Elon Musk.
Right, but I mean that's
2050, 2020.
Right, but I'm saying
your package will be there in 10, 9.
There's
You're gonna get in a Tesla truck and go like this while it drives you across the country.
We basically have an alien workforce that will take half of the low-income jobs. It just will. That alien workforce is a robot. So there's only one thing you can do.
I thought you were talking about the illegal alien workforce.
No, but that
takes half the job.
But no, but that's how we have to think of it. We have to think about those robots as actual people that are coming in, and there's no way to stop it. It's never going to happen. You're never going to stop technology. Nope. So you might as well work out some sort of distribution of the wealth to at least allow people to have a fucking apartment.
I agree, but I've also never had a problem.
I was going to say technology. Look at the size of this mic.
Right.
Okay, but go ahead.
Mic with a hard drive in it, by the way. I've never had a problem with the guy in front of Home Depot who took jobs either.
Right.
I didn't have a problem with it because I was ready to. I was the first one ready to pay
Jay,
it.
let me tell you something. He probably has a problem with it. Just letting you know.
He himself?
Yeah. Working $10 an hour, hoping and sitting next to a Home Depot is probably not a real good way to raise a fucking family.
No.
And if you take all the jobs he could have gotten on a factory line, if you're a government that gives a shit about your electorate, you might want to take care of those people. We have the money. We have the means. It's a couple different regulations, and everybody's taken care of.
That guy in front of Home Depot is not here legally, so...
Well, but not I mean, shit, honestly, some of them are, believe it or not.
A term comes to mind. Feudalism. Yeah.
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 Yeah, we can't have that. There's no reason to have that, though. There's no reason to go that route. We have the ability we just need the will and the politicians to realize what the future is coming. That was what was frustrating about the election to me. Hillary was being very honest. As much as she annoyed me, she goes, "That won't come back. It's not going to happen. There's no way we can do this. Education is the key. You have to get re-educated. You have to go into a different field." Trump said, "I'll bring all the coal jobs back," and he won. It's like, come on,
He didn't
man.
say he's going to bring coal job. He's going to bring manufacturing back.
He was just
he's
making...
going to bring manufacturing back from Malaysia where they make $3 an hour and get a living wage in America.
Sure. Yeah,
it's also impossible. That's been proven impossible forever.
Right. That's my point.
They tax one country, they just divert it to another country, and that doesn't work.
Right. So the reality, Hillary was a little more aware of that reality. Clinton said it. Clinton said it during NAFTA. Clinton said, "Listen, we're in a globalized. This is changing." It's 20 years after that. It's even more changed. So Trump was just saying whatever the fuck mattered. He couldn't have done any of those things.
How do you feel now? I mean,
do
you have any regrets? Do you wish you just hadn't voted?
Yeah.
You should have voted for Goldie Wilson.
Exactly.
You'd have doubled your fucking votes, dog.
If anyone who saw me that day, I literally just said, "I know I picked the winner." Like I felt like it was like gambling.
But you were handicapping.
Like I felt like I was in a casino, like betting on the Bulls game that night. Like I was like, "Yeah, I know I just picked the winner." That was it because I wasn't excited about voting. I knew I was doing my civic duty.
I wasn't excited about voting for Hillary, but
that's what I'm saying. I wasn't excited about voting for. I wasn't going to be excited about voting for anybody.
He's a New Yorker.
So I figured I might as well just pick the winner. And I felt like I was smart in it because I'm from New York, so nobody voted for him there.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't going to win that state.
Right. That's true. That's true.
And also, I mean, I'm in the creative field, so everyone I know, everybody in my circle, is voting for Hillary.
Right.
I just felt like the outcast who knew I picked the winner. It was a weird thing, man. It was a
made
weird
for some
thing.
really odd conversations around November the 8th.
Yeah, no, it did. It did. It was like, I'm right, you're wrong. But like, that's how little. It was very conscious. That's how little I wanted to vote for either of them. That at least I said.
You also must not have respected you didn't have any reverence for the idea of president to begin with. You couldn't have had too much.
That's actually not well.
What Obama symbolized to me was so much more than a fucking agenda. Some of the stuff I didn't agree with.
He's the only one, though, because I'm a cynist, too. Because of my age, I mean, the presidents that I've grown up with, Clinton's really... I remember HW, but I was very young. That was grade school for me.
Yeah.
Every president since HW, you had a guy getting blowjobs in the office,
right.
A guy who was in bed with the Middle East with the oil.
Right.
Obama changed all that.
Right.
So when you talk about reverence for the office of the presidency, when I see the pictures of the guys with the beards, I mean, those are just pictures.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in I'm like the most possible cynist age that you could be to respect the presidency.
Yeah, very first president that I ever in my lifetime was named Dwight David Eisenhower.
Exactly. I didn't have
Where
that.
Are you going?
I have to make a call.
Okay.
In the middle of the show. I'll be back.
Are you okay? Okay. That mic is still on, right? Yeah, that mic is still on. Of course.
I had guys getting blowjobs in the office. How am I supposed to respect the presidency?
Okay, I'm dying to hear what this fucking phone call is.
Should be good.
I can't believe you stopped in the middle of the fucking podcast. Dude, my grandfather's literally dying and I haven't stopped.
Hey man, are you whispering about me, man?
You know, are you around tomorrow daytime?
Don't you be whispering about me, bitch.
Well, no, it's whisper. Listen, I totally get that. I hear what you're saying, but after Obama and having an ideal of what a statesman should be or what it means, and listen, I didn't like Hillary either, but how could, I mean, fucking man, we're talking a mirror shift.
There's also a lot of things to say about Obama becoming president. I think it made the country more racist than it's ever been.
Sure.
So I didn't like that.
Well,
that became less about him and more about where we were as a country.
So you just picked the white supremacist because, well, you know, at least it balances out. I mean,
No, it's just seeing how good, even though he did a good job.
He did all he could. It didn't matter. He got locked.
Exactly.
You thought more would actually happen.
I was just looking at the picture then. The picture of the country at that point is like, we're more racist than ever. People voted for Obama not having a goddamn clue what they were voting for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, no clue.
He told you.
I mean, I don't know. What do you
But-
say?
But nobody was listening.
He said he told you. He said he was going to fundamentally change the United States of America.
Well, he tried. They just blocked him.
Yeah, everything. And it's amazing to me now that because they can't get any help, they're like, well, you're just being, obstructionist.
Right.
Like, we just went through 8 years and you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, and you have the
Do
whole...
you remember those videos, though, when he was running, both times, where they'd take, like, McCain statements and read them to black people and say, Obama said this, and they'd be like, yeah, I like that, I'm over him.
Right.
And
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Well,
there are tons
you
of
could do that to everybody. There's always
You
going
could,
to
of
be a
course.
secret election.
But it just shows you people don't know what they're voting for.
But some people, it's just like all Trump
Well, no, there's
supporters
not a
aren't
very,
fucking idiots that don't know what they're
there's
talking
not a
about, right?
very
Agreed.
informed
So
class.
that's what I'm
the
saying.
system's broken. I mean, the system
Oh,
is
it's
complete.
so
Forget what's going on in the government.
Yeah.
The system of electing the president is
system is-
broken. The Electoral College
It's a joke.
makes no sense.
It is a complete, absolute joke.
I disagree. I think the rural areas should have just as much of a voice as the city areas, and if you have no electoral, maybe the numbers are off a little bit.
Numbers is numbers.
Well, I hear
If you got the numbers in the little places and the big places, you win.
right.
If you don't have the numbers,
But this time the Rust Belt said "fuck you, Hillary," and it mattered.
Yeah, but
This-
it
wasn't
has it
just-
ever happened before?
Yes.
Yeah.
That they've lost the
Yeah,
popular
2000.
vote?
yeah,
Yes. Jesus.
It was
Christ. Have
George
you never
Bush.
followed politics ever?
George
Well, yeah,
Bush.
you know.
It was the 21st century, brother. Think it's that.
But
Well, that answers all
what are
those
you,
questions.
So what
I
do
had
you
for
consider? You consider a millennial or
yeah.
Gen X
Yes.
or what?
I'm
What is
like in between.
Yeah.
I'm like a really old millennial or the end of
At Gen X.
Gen
Well,
X?
Gen X.
I was born
yeah.
in '75, and I'm barely end of Gen X. There's like that middle thing they have now.
See, I didn't grow like. When you look back on it, I'll never be a millennial because I didn't grow up with the technology that millennials grew up with. I was a technological person who was always ahead of the curve
Right.
on like playing 5 1/4-inch floppy disk computer games.
Yeah, no, that's me
So
too.
that's I didn't grow
I'm
up.
with you.
I didn't grow up with Snapchat, And when you look back on it, that's what that generation is going to be defined.
Snapchat? What's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
No, I just had to do that. I had to do that, dude. I'm hip. I'm hip.
Yeah.
You got Snapchat on there?
Yeah, on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I don't have Snapchat.
I don't even have
I don't
Snapchat.
have Snapchat.
Oh, yeah, I got Snapchat. Now ask me how to use it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
You probably
All
figured out the-
I just here's the thing.
I figured out the DM part.
I just didn't want to put cute rabbit noses and ears on. I just didn't feel like doing that.
That's not what it's for, man. It's for
It's not?
sending naked selfies.
Man, let me delete this.
Oh, speaking of naked self, we're gonna end with this. This is what we're gonna end with.
Right.
We're already up to the end? I thought we were just getting started.
Yeah, sorry, we're already an hour. I don't want to fucking keep editing this, dude. I've edited enough lately. Well, at least for a cutting off point. So, so Jay told me that no one really needs a Magnum
I did.
A Magnum what?
condom.
That was the reaction we were hoping for.
What the fuck was that, dude? I couldn't believe you wrote that, and then I was like, oh, because he was.
I've never met a white guy that's
He
ever
was
really
te-
needed it. I mean,
He was texting me that he's gonna grab an Uber and be over.
I
And
don't know
it said-
how. Somehow, my computer auto-corrected Uber to Magnum.
No,
okay?
to rubber.
Oh, to rubber, yeah.
I said, I'm gonna grab a rubber and come over. And I said,
First of all, he was going like, I didn't know
Right.
that.
so I said, be sure to
Oh,
bring.
this is a text?
Yes,
Right,
I
right,
texted him.
right,
I'm
right.
going to grab a rubber and come right over,
Right.
which was supposed to say Uber.
Right.
And then he goes, bring me a Magnum and come over. I said,
Right, I said,
nobody
make sure
really needs a Magnum.
And then I went, oh yes, we'll talk about that on the podcast. we'll see what Don has to say about it. I have a funny story about Magnums, by the way.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's every day of your life, but for me,
The gold one or the black one?
it's gold.
You
Yeah.
have seen how they blow up just the regular size ones and how big they get, right?
Here's how this works. When I was a kid, I was 16, 17, 18, whatever, blah, 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 hated condoms. I was like, oh, this is so uncomfortable, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like 19, 20, 21.
That's
around
why I
that
got
age.
married when I was 21.
I know. I hear. I got married when I was 21 and divorced when I was 21. It's just a hell of a story.
I waited too long for my divorce. Go ahead.
So, and you, Don? How long were you married, by the way? Just curious.
I was married. 17 years.
17 years. That's a long
Yeah.
time.
Wow.
Fuck, I'm already like 17.
Almost
got
made
me
it.
beat.
Almost made it to the finish line.
Like the 90? Like finish? Like what's the
Like,
finish line?
how old were you?
20, and then everybody gets divorced anyway.
No, they,
Right. Yeah.
isn't 20 years the cutoff?
Yeah, I thought it.
got past the 7-year itch.
Right.
How old were you?
When I got married?
Yeah.
30.
Until 47? That's weird.
No, it's life.
Don't you just kind of
No.
fuck at that point?
Yeah, trust me. There's a whole nother.
Whole nother
thing.
dynamic.
Yeah, whole dynamic. But no, so when I was a kid, I didn't like him, blah, blah. I date this girl, and I'm having trouble, and she's like, I really want you to wear a condom, and she goes, hang on a second. She gets in her fucking car. She goes, and she gets a Magnum, and she gives it to me, and I'm like, oh, that's what they're for. I don't know how else to say it, but the little ones don't fucking fit. They're too tight. And suddenly you put it on, you're like, oh, this is, I mean, it's not as good as nothing.
All of a sudden it becomes comfortable.
Now it's like, oh, shit, this works. This is good. So, yes, some people have bigger dicks, Jay. And that's just the way it is.
And those little ones just strangle your cock.
You can't do it. Like, it's literally
I just took an Ancestry.com DNA test, and it came back 97% European Jewish.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think is going on?
Right, exactly.
Well, it's like my lawyer. He says he suffers from this disease called smallcocks.
Smallcocks. Well, and
by
also,
the way, I do not have a. I mean,
no.
It's fine. It's all right.
Wait, look here, Trump.
Here's the Woody Allen.
It's not going to win any awards.
Let me see your hands, Trump. You got big hands.
I got no complaints.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
And the addendum to this story is, it's not always better. Trust me, if I take all of my sexual experiences and divvy them up,
I've heard, yeah.
And being bigger does not good. Almost, I'd say over half the time, it's an issue, and you have to do things differently than you would normally do it.
Right.
So it's not exactly like, yay, I'm real excited about it. But the moment I knew they existed,
Never expected this
I
conversation.
know, right? But no, the moment I knew they existed, I was like, oh, thank the fuck Christ, because I really thought, this is what condoms are for people? Holy shit, no wonder nobody ever wants to wear them. It hurts. It was actually painful.
Oh, that's right, Columbus.
I didn't know, but that bitch knew. She got in the fucking car, she's like, she's back in 5 minutes, here you go, let's do it. And I'm like, whoa, okay then.
I've honestly had such limited experiences with condoms in general.
Oh, wow. Well,
limited.
You know, it is what it is. God, we
Been lucky.
You know, fuck it. We'll go into overtime because we haven't even talked about
overtime with Flash and the Fundamentals.
Yeah, the story that still won't die.
New segment, DOT.
Aziz Ansari.
Oh,
there's more.
It keeps going. Well, no, I mean there was the SNL bit last week, and I mean,
it's
still
SNL is kind of like on his side though.
Well, they not be.
You know, here's what I want to add to all this because I have a close female friend. I mean, a close Facebook female friend. I met her once, but we were on Facebook for like past 10 years, and she's always been incredibly intelligent and always, participated. And she actually was against Ansari and had some pretty good points about what it feels like to be a woman. And we are very male here, and
we are.
I will have to say
2 Magnums at the table.
Right. Yes. I will have to say that there's.
Don't break the table.
Don't let me whip it out. Oh shit! No, yeah. Boom. Don's probably got me beat. I'll be honest. You know. But what she said that made a lot of sense, and we underestimate what it feels like to be a woman, and Aziz should have had a bit more wherewithal to what she was feeling. And I gotta say, listen.
You're the one that told me he's probably a little young and unsophisticated.
Right, but he's 35. He's been famous for 10 years. Enough. Okay.
Yeah,
true. I get that. But
even fuck off. But my point is that as much as I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I do, I don't think it was assault, harassment at all. I think that he should have had a bit more wherewithal that she was uncomfortable. And you and I were talking about you had experience when you were 17 or whatever, and I was talking about how if I went down on a woman,
I don't understand how you're uncomfortable letting that happen. That
no. That's not what I'm saying. I've been in situations where I went down on a woman, and as I'm older, I know that if you do it right, she's like, put it in me fucking now, right? Okay.
I'm gonna agree from what I've heard.
Okay. Right. So now, when I was younger, you think that's what's gonna happen, and maybe you're not doing right, or something's wrong, and you do that, and she doesn't want to have sex. Something's up.
You either did it wrong.
Or she's not that into you, and maybe you should lay off a little bit. That's where I have an issue with Aziz continually pushing.
I haven't read the article in a few weeks, but where did she say at any point that she expressed any? I understand that when she wrote the article.
No, here's where she expressed
retelling the story. She said that they stopped, that they didn't have sex.
She expressed before this. No, when she came in, he said. They were literally kissing next to the counter, and he He made the comment.
Do you want me to fuck you here or whatever?
Yeah, what can I get a condom? She's like, whoa, hey,
like too fat, right?
But
that was unfinesse.
Right. So he went down on her, and she still didn't want to have sex.
Right, but then they go back to the couch. They start doing whatever again. The second blowjob. Then they end up by the mirror.
No, listen, I agree.
I mean, I'm not a
I agree.
They end up by the mirror, and then he says, like, let's do it right here or whatever. I don't remember the exact wording. She says no there.
We remember so much about this night. However, it's funny.
She says no there the second time, right?
And they stop.
So, listen, I've been in situations where things progress over the night, and that doesn't mean that she's not necessarily interested. It means like let's take it a little slower.
I mean, she wanted to be romantic. She wanted
exactly.
Right. I've been,
and that is what it was.
What's funny is I've always had the assumption. Maybe I've never had anybody stop me and not just immediately go, okay, fuck, I'm sorry, and I then blow it off. I would never keep going. That is my personality.
Right, first of all, I've never been in that exact situation either.
Yeah. Well,
so, it's hard to know what to make of it. But again, she had the freedom to write whatever she wanted.
I go.
And at no point said I don't want to do this anymore. She gave another fucking blowjob.
I don't see how the people are upset.
And listen,
I don't get it. I mean, with all the hardcore stuff going on.
Oh no, I know.
Dude's thing was like,
but they're trying to make a progressive play at. Listen, we want to make our society the way we want to make it, and these guys need to know more.
Well, and new topic.
What?
Scott Baio.
Oh. Yeah, I just heard about that this morning.
It's new. It's fresh. It just happened this week.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you watch his video?
Yes, I watched the whole thing.
I watched the entire thing.
I watched the entire
so
thing.
Bad, and it's
By the way,
so funny.
At what point did you want to slap his wife?
It was not okay. I can't answer that. That's a little loaded. For you had to be thinking the same thing, dude. Just like put the camera up a little higher, a little light. Like why would you do it?
It was a very awkward.
So wait. So I don't know what's happening.
All right, so let's run it down for our viewers.
Yeah, let's Scott Baio.
Nicole Eggert has been claiming for years.
Eggert, yes.
That well, she did have sex with Scott Baio. That is not a that point is on the table.
When she was underage or adult?
Right about it's right like 17, 18.
Right.
So underage to adult.
Right.
So Scott. So lately she's been coming hard. She has some reality shows. She now claims that he fingered her in the garage when she was like 14.
Right.
Highly underage.
Right. And this he was 24, 26.
Yeah. So this went on for a while. And these are the claims now that she's making. Now, Scott Baio puts out a 15-minute video. It was a Facebook Live video that he claimed he did on Facebook Live so that nobody could edit what he had to say.
Right.
Now, the problem is there was one editor, his wife, who was in the room, not on camera, who kept piping in like every 30 seconds. No, Scott, tell him that! No, I mean, like, I would not want to be... Like, Scott Baio is... I mean, he's got a noose around his balls.
So he's pretty henpecked.
Yeah. So, let's talk about the content. So he gets on camera and he basically explains during this video why Nicole Eggert cannot possibly be right about her claims. First, he brings up an interview that she gave where she claims that he's a very nice guy and she'd love to work with him again. This is all recent stuff. All right. So first lays the groundwork for why it's weird that she's saying now that he was a pedophile when unsolicited on other shows not in front of him
totally
recently, she says he's a great guy. But then what he does is he catches her in a fact-proven lie about when they had sex because she went on a radio show, says she lost her virginity to Scott Baio
after the show
had stopped filming, and she would have been like 19,
maybe even 20.
Yeah,
right.
So he has essentially evidence from the horse's mouth and he said, she said, it's the best you're going to get, but from the horse's mouth that they had sex after. Now, my one problem with the video, which I was watching with my girlfriend,
there's quite a few problems.
I mean, aside from the wife,
I'll give you one.
The wife is awesome.
Yeah.
The one issue with it is that he never denied the claims once.
Right.
15 minutes, just say, I didn't do that. And he didn't do that at all.
Listen,
what he did is he twisted the story to point everything towards the evidence that he had. The evidence that he had said that he had sex with her when she was an adult.
I think he isn't really aware that it is still illegal to finger a 14-year-old, even if you didn't have sex with her. I don't think he caught.
Didn't go there. Didn't touch that. What he did is he used
a piece. Smart.
He used a piece of factual evidence that he had sex with her when she was an adult. Used the fact that she had no problem with him.
Right.
in general in life, to put those two pieces of together to say shouldn't be a problem here.
All of them are doing that now.
Well,
because the people that were in position of power over them and so on and so forth.
Well, but she was a minor. I mean, she was a big time minor.
But here's the thing.
He just didn't say I didn't finger her in the garage, and that's kind of what's at issue here.
Here's the bigger issue. A whole bunch of things can be true at the same time.
Exactly.
Okay? Right. And I think that's what we always make a mistake of. We caught her in one lie, so that means all of it are.
And that's what he's trying to do.
And she was nice to me afterwards. Therefore, listen, I know 14-year-old girls that think they can legally consent to sexual activity.
Right.
And you know what? 100 years ago, they could.
And 20 years goes by, and it's...
Right.
And you're eventually allowed to come to your own...
feeling that maybe I was a little pressured by the star of Charles in Charge.
Or maybe he should have known better.
Of course.
And not done this with me.
Right.
Now, the problem that's working against her is... she's a train wreck.
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually know her sister personally, so I have to. I gotta bow out of some of these things because her sister's awesome, and yeah. I mean,
you gotta bow. What you get uncomfortable for?
Well, no. I'm just saying is that it's people I know that I don't. I mean, train wreck is harsh. She's a train wreck in that you could say that she's doing this for attention.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. I can absolutely say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's fallen off the wagon,
there are substance abuse.
Well, and then she gained a lot of weight, and now she lost a lot of weight, and I mean, she's not in a good spot.
But that still has nothing to do with the fact that most likely it happened.
Yes.
I have no reason to believe it didn't. Most likely she totally consented to it at the time. I mean, this is the other thing I have a huge issue with, and before we end this, I gotta say this: pedophilia is sex with someone prepubescent. That is what it means, like under 10. That is what pedophilia is.
Right.
Everything after you go through puberty
is sex with a minor.
But it's societal, meaning depending on what decade you live in, it's either legal or illegal.
Well, the Bible that people swear by had people getting married at
once they got their period. Yeah,
listen, biologically, there's no reason for a man who can procreate and a woman who can procreate being attracted to each other and having sex. Biologically. Our society has said, nope, we're saying 18, which honestly, after I read that shit from the 23-year-old and Aziz Ansari, should probably be 21. Because that girl fucking wrote like she was in 8th grade. Like, I could not believe how young that girl seemed.
But what we talk about all the time is, you got to play by the rules.
No, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm expressing...
It's actually legal in some countries.
Yeah, what I'm expressing is that we do have to make a difference. And while he should have known better, of course... she could absolutely have been Lolita in his ass like hardcore because she wanted to fuck Chachi from Happy Days.
And by the way, at the end of the video, he goes, she is right. She called me, said she wanted to come over. And like any red-blooded American,
right. But this is
what happened.
But this is when she was 18, 19. She was a beautiful girl. She was beautiful at 14.
Exactly.
Like it's not a pedophile thing to say that. She looked like a young woman. Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you fucking period. So this even frustrated me with the Roy Moore thing, where they're like, oh, he's a fucking... Listen, dude, 16-year-old girls, I've seen them. They don't look like they're 16.
That's the truth.
Oh,
that is the truth.
Right.
So, that's the absolute 100%.
And the way they dress nowadays.
It is different. But let me add one more thing where I was saying you might as well make the age of consent 21 these days. We now baby our children to the point of adolescence going till they're fucking 30. I mean, you have people that are not emotionally ready for sexual activity who are 23.
And people are having sex younger and younger.
They are, with less emotional maturity.
And then the laws make no sense because there's, even if you're the same age as somebody, but you might have turned 18 and they're 17, that's statutory rape. That's just wrong. Yeah, I mean, they got to get rid of that shit.
Well, but even in the laws, they do have actual ages where, there's a difference between 18 and 17 and 24 and 17.
And it also goes state by state. Like, if I drive 10 miles, I can fuck you. Like, what?
Right. Well, hey, let me get some gas. I'll be right back.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it's complicated.
And I mean, I will say this: if he had put in a denial, like a vehement denial, like he was denying the sex, and said that none of the rest of the stuff happened, I think I would have believed him.
Right.
But I think his lack of a denial.
Listen, he was being honest. Far be it to me to slam Cypher being honest. He admitted to what happened and when it happened. He showed the proof that he had, and he just let it go.
I'm not going to play judge and jury, but the fact is, you got one person saying something happened, another person denying something else.
Right. Yeah.
Something else that person A is not talking about. He just seems like a guy who's pissed off that something that was put to, because they had a good relationship for a long time.
Yeah, even
something that was put to bed for 2 decades is now coming out.
Well, and it has a little to do with him being a Trump supporter and pissing everybody off that's liberal.
Too.
That really, I mean, there's no doubt about that. But
but look at Aziz. Aziz wants to be liberal, and
literally Me Too button.
Right, exactly.
Fucking time's up.
And then he gets ripped because of that.
He gets that poor bastard.
What are you supposed to do?
Dude, it's rough out here.
We should all
single,
join.
man.
We should all join the convent.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm the only married guy here.
Oh my God.
What are we supposed to do?
You know, I go on a date now, man. I bring another guy for a witness.
Right. No. Right. You're gonna have to give him an app to sign.
It's like the designated driver. Like you have a designated guy who doesn't drink, like a designated observer.
Yeah, designated observer.
It's like consent.
Right.
And go.
And see you later.
Flash and the fundamentals. Two complete opposites solve the world. If you're listening on iTunes, don't forget